I mean, at that point I was even thinking, oh, maybe we should just let Chucky get her. That's rude. That is so rude. It's Kristen, and today we are talking about the second episode of Syfy's Chucky series. It's Halloween and everything is going down. Consider subscribing if you like my videos and drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on this episode and how you're liking Chucky so far. Fresh off of last week's episode, Chucky has killed Jake's father and now he's staying with his aunt, uncle, and cousin. And we've got our second freak accident that has happened around Jake and his terrifying doll. First was his dad and now his cousin's nanny. They're not sure, did she slip and fall into the dishwasher, landing on all these knives, or was it done on purpose? I mean, we all know it was Chucky, and already I feel like there's a bunch of parallels that we're seeing to the original movies. We get to see this moment where we see Chucky's point of view during this kill, and that really reminded me of Seed of Chucky when we see from Glenn and Glenda's point of view during a dream kill. But Chucky is actually lying to Jake and trying to get him on his side and convince him that, you know, what he's doing is the right thing. We gotta go after Lexi. We gotta go after these people that are hurting you. And he claims he didn't kill the nanny. But I mean, we saw him. We saw him there, so I don't know what he's lying for. Maybe just to get Jake on his side. He claims he wants to help Jake, that he and Jake are the same, that he would be there for him and only kill people when it's necessary. He talks about how he accepts Jake for being gay. In fact, he has his own gender fluid child, which is a reference to Seed of Chucky with Glenn and Glenda. And while this conversation is happening, there's also a different conversation going on with Jake's aunt and uncle who are like, are we qualified to deal with this kid? Which felt like another callback to Child's Play 2 when Andy goes to the foster family and they're like, are we qualified to deal with this? This kid has dealt with a lot. Now, because of Chucky, Jake is suspect number 1 to the police in all of these incidents, which is pretty bad. But since in typical Chucky fashion, everyone usually ends up finding out that Chucky's alive and murderous, I'm feeling like this may not be an issue for Jake for very long. So Chucky wants to go after Lexi, he wants to kill her, and where's the best place to do that? At the Halloween party that's being thrown. He ends up making his way there, and he keeps having these near misses where he's like so close to killing Lexi, but like not quite. And Jake realizes that he's disappeared because he knows that Chucky's trying to kill Lexi.
Chucky. He's gone.
So he goes to the Halloween party to stop him and instead finds Lexi dressed as his dead father being electrocuted. Terrible. Way too far. I mean, at that point I was even thinking, oh, maybe we should just let Chucky get her. That's rude. That is so rude. It's just like this vicious circle of like, she's mean to him. Chucky rags on her at the school talent show. Now she's going to do something worse. It just keeps going. It's like a snowball effect. And at this point, Jake has nobody. He's alone. He's hurt. This is like really terrible. So he's kind of like, you know, maybe I do want to get revenge on this girl. Chucky's really just taking advantage of being this kid's only friend. And I think at this point, it seems like he's like kind of got him almost convinced. Also in this episode, we get to see a little bit more of Lexi's little sister, who is some kind of like child prodigy. She's a bit of a genius, but she's also, you know, lacking certain social skills, and she has become fascinated by Chucky after seeing him at the talent show. She wants to be his best friend. We even get to see a moment where the two of them are hanging out, and they're playing video games, and it looks like he's kind of impressed by her and is like, oh, you could be a killer too, and maybe she'll be his next little mentee.
Mommy says real killing is bad.
Yeah, well, Mommy's full of shit.
And then we also get another little throwback to young Charles, if you will, which is him on Halloween. He finds an apple in a trick-or-treat bag that has a razor in it, and instead of like throwing it away, he like embraces it and like eats it and is like cool with it. And then later on we see that moment kind of reflected in modern day when the woman who gives him directions to the Halloween party is given an apple by him that also has a razor in it. So I thought it was interesting that they played up that Halloween urban legend. And overall I thought this was a really good episode. I love the Halloween vibe. I think they did a really good job of throwing in references. I think that there were a lot of funny moments like Chucky as Hello Kitty. There was some dark moments that you're like, ooh, is this going too far? Like Lexi and her Halloween costume. I like seeing these little tidbits of young Charles's life. I want to see more. I hope they go even deeper. And again, I just think it's so interesting to see Chucky kind of like going about things a little bit differently. You know, I think in the past he just kind of like kills people and is like whatever, but he's really like mind messing with Jake and trying to convince him like, be on my side, man. Join me. And so far, I think it might be working, but I'm hoping that Jake kind of realizes, like, this is not the path, that, you know, he's able to break free of Chucky's grasp. If you guys like this one, you can check out more of my Chucky reviews right over here, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.